What's up, my fisters? Do you love fisting? I love fisting too. Unfortunately, there are people who are being terrorized by getting fisted by Iron Fist. So this video is going to help those people to get unfisted by the fister. Who am I? I am the rank 1 Iron Fist of season 1.5. I hit 1 above all in season 1. Currently I have a 70% win rate with a 76% win rate on Iron Fist in season 2. And I'm going to teach you everything to get unfisted by the Iron Fist. Sorry, fisters. Let's hope people don't use this against us. So the first tip that counters every Iron Fist is banning Iron Fist. Yep, every Iron Fist cannot play another character. So if you know there's an Iron Fist main on the other team, ban it, because he is useless on everything else. If he can't fist, well, he can't use his feet. This tip is kind of a joke, but at the same time not really. But I'll give you some actual tips if he gets through the banning phase. So the first actual tip is going to be high damage duelists. Iron Fist cannot stay in your backline if he's getting shredded. I'll give some examples of who Iron Fist hates. He hates Hela, he hates Namor, and he hates Bucky. Thankfully, Bucky got nerfed and Namor's squid got turned into a gamma squid. You know, these are DPS with high burst damage, also high sustain damage. So even though Iron Fist may block their damage, can he sustain against them and constantly fist your backline? No. He has to get the hell out of there. I mean, he's gonna come back 5 seconds later, but this is how you counter him. Or at least one of the ways, because then he can't really do his job. He's still gonna do his job, but just not as effectively. And I'll give you characters that actually do counter him at the end of the video. So make sure you stay till the end. I'm also gonna give you tips on what doesn't counter Iron Fist, but it's a misconception that people think this counters Iron Fist, or at least what not to do. But anyways, for the third tip, using comms for his block. So if I'm facing an Iron Fist, I will usually comm that his block is down, and that way my teammates know his block is down so they can actually kill him. Even though he does get a 30% damage reduction, he's still vulnerable in this state. He can actually die. So if everyone shoots him when his block is down, he's done. Well, I mean, he's not done. He's gonna go away. 5 seconds later, he comes back, you know. But if everyone starts shooting him when his block is down, well, he can't do his job, so he's kind of like a mosquito. The fourth tip is don't shoot his block. Yep, this is an obvious one, but no one does it. So if you see an Iron Fist just kicking in the air, he's not using his block, or, you know, he's not fisting. That means he still has his block. So what the Iron Fist is doing is he's drawing attention from the enemy to try and hit him so he can block. So what you do is if he's kicking in the air, you just kind of tap your shooting button, melee button, until you hear that sound effect, you see him blocking and parrying. That's when you stop shooting. So I recommend the tap button because you're controlling the pace of how fast you shoot and you're preparing to not actually hit his parry. But then once his block is down, that's when you unload all your load on the fister, because you do not want to get fisted and you'd rather blow your load all over the fister. That's how you counter getting that's how you counter getting fisted. Just, you know, tap, unleash some of your load, not all of it, and then once he blocks, don't shoot, just wait, and then release your load on him. The next tip is to play 1 tank and 3 duelists. Iron Fist, this is a reference to the first tip, or the second tip. Iron Fist does not like high burst damage, so if you're playing 3 duelists, that's a lot of damage. Iron Fist don't like that. He likes to fist, but 3 duelists makes him not able to fist you. He does have to get out like sooner if he was against 2 tanks, but because there's a lot more damage, he has to get out sooner. This also counters the fact that there's only 1 tank for him to bust, and there's not 2 tanks, so, you know, 1 out of 6 characters he can fist and get ult charge or even kill them, but if there's 2 tanks, he really likes that, because also tanks usually do less damage than a duelist, so of course he very much loves 2 tanks. But if there's 1 tank and 3 duelists, he has a hard time because there's too much damage. He has to like dodge, like there's 3 people focusing him that actually deal damage, so he has to play more like an assassin, very quick and swift, because, you know, maybe he's the one who's getting fisted instead of the enemy team. So yeah, I personally hate 3 duelists. I prefer if the enemy just goes meta and plays 2 tanks. I mean, it's good for me, but if the enemy is actually smart and played 3 duelists, they would counter me. Would they counter my team? I don't know. I don't think so, but I would have a harder time. The 6th tip is Hawkeye. We're getting close to all the characters that are really good against Iron Fist, but Hawkeye has to be my least favorite matchup. So this character, he can one-shot you, even though you have 300 hit point. He just gets 100 charge and pulls back on his bow and then shoots you in the head. You're dead. If you're not parrying it or getting your 30% damage reduction, he can easily slaughter you. Because this character will just play by his healers and be like, he'll just get pocketed. You can't kill him. And if you're on his supports, he maybe will one-shot you. So you always have to have an eye on this character. And I mean, this is the assumption that every Hawkeye player I face is going to be a god and just headshot you. So yeah, playing against this very high burst damage character is really annoying. I ban him every game that I'm in. Like, I don't even care about Namor. I ban this character. Even my supports hate him, my other duelists hate him, so like, it's a good ban. It's very contrary that Hawkeye is a counter to Iron Fist because he's like a sitting duck, and like Iron Fist should be able to fist him down, but if he's getting healed, it's basically impossible and he'll just Paktua you. Next up is going to be 3 supports. Yeah, 3 supports does counter Iron Fist. He is a dive character. And so if one of the healers is getting healed by a healer and the other 2 healers are just healing the front line, well, that's kind of awkward because Iron Fist is like, I'm a tickle monster now. I can't do anything. But usually if it's 2 healers, the other healer will heal the healer that Iron Fist is on. And that healer is either healing herself or the tank. So only one person is healing the tanks. So the tank is wondering, why am I not getting healed? It's because an Iron Fist is in the back line. But if there's 3 supports, the tank is like, yeah, I'm getting healed. And also, I'm not getting fisted. So essentially, 3 supports, 2 DPS, and 1 tank is really good against Iron Fist. That is probably one of the best comps to play into Iron Fist, in my opinion. So there's your 8th tip. 1 tank, 2 duelists, 3 supports is really good against Iron Fist. The next tip I want to give is playing like a ball. So Iron Fist does have a problem if the enemy groups up and plays like a ball. If people are taking off angles like say Hela or Namor, Iron Fist will usually beat all 1v1s. Against Namor, it can be tricky. The Namor player can be really good, but I mean, if he throws the squids out, you get free block damage and you force his bubble out, come out, like, you know, come back 5 seconds later, his bubble is down, you kill him. So even Namor can't really 1v1 Iron Fist if the Iron Fist doesn't suck. But if the enemy groups up like a ball, the Fist is forced to block and he can't stay very long. He can tank for his team kind of, but yeah, there's just probably too much damage and everyone's looking at him, so harder for him to have his way with the supports and fisting them. Next up is going to be Ice Jeff. So this is not really a counter, it's kind of like a neutralizer. What ends up happening is Ice Jeff usually wants to flank. I mean, not a lot of people will play 3 supports with Ice Jeff, so if he's the only second support, then it's kind of bad. If there are 3 supports, including Jeff, what ends up happening is Ice Jeff will go for flank. The Iron Fist's job is to mark the Jeff, and then basically it's a 5v5 because it's just Jeff and Iron Fist running around the map, chasing each other, doing nothing. Iron Fist does generate his ult with facing the Ice Jeff, but Ice Jeff can actually kill him, unironically. Like, if Iron Fist doesn't have the Snowflake, he doesn't have infinite sustain like the Jeff, and Jeff has damage, so yeah, what can Iron Fist do against a shark? He cannot put his hands into something that is always underwater, so there is no fisting allowed against a shark. The next tip is banning Luna Snow. Okay, so you know, Iron Fist can get healed in the backline if he has like a rocket or something, but Luna is essentially giving him a snowflake free heals all the time. And also Luna does get the team up with Iron Fist, which makes her stronger. And so these two have insane synergy when they're on the same team. So if you ban Luna, well, Iron Fist doesn't get the snowflake, Luna Snow doesn't get the team up, and therefore Iron Fist isn't as tanky because he has no snowflake. This snowflake does empower Iron Fist, and if you guys don't know, Ultron is coming in 2.5, which apparently he does help divers a lot. So if Iron Fist can get support from distances away from his team, like, he just becomes unkillable. He can stay long fisting your backline. It's awful for supports, and I don't know how they deal with it, but yeah, banning these characters that enable dives harder really help against Iron Fist. Of course you can just ban Iron Fist, but this is just another way of getting 2 birds with 1 rock. Next up is duelists staying with their supports. So this is what I kind of meant with ball comp, but honestly you could just have 1 duelist stay with the support and just fight the enemy Iron Fist, because this duelist doesn't have to worry about like getting 1v1 by Iron Fist. He's always going to be getting healed, and he's going to do the peeling for the supports. Therefore Iron Fist has a hard time assassinating the supports, so Iron Fist becomes sad, but he's going to keep doing this anyways until it works. So Is it a real counter? Yeah, because your supports are living. So it is working in a way. It's just a matter of whose team is better. Now we're going to be going into specific character matchups that do counter Iron Fist and the matchups I absolutely hate. So if you want to piss off Iron Fist with certain characters, here are some matchups. Mr. Fantastico. This character counters basically every melee character in the game. He cannot die to any of them. He has like a self shield. He has invulnerability. And he gets a bunch of hit point when he's 100% inflated. So in this sense, because his inflated mode is overshield and not his maximum hit point, Iron Fist's max percent health damage is not going to be that much against a 375 hit point target. Because Mr. Fantastic isn't a true tank, he's actually doing less damage and he's just getting stretched out by Mr. Fantastic. So Mr. Fantastic can contest flanks, can peel for his allies, and it's really hard for Iron Fist to deal with. If the Mr. Fantastic is diving, Iron Fist can deal with him, but Mr. Fantastic does smoke him in a lot of ways. Next up is going to be Human Torch. Okay, so it's your job to fight the flyers. Like, you can 1v1 every flyer. Maybe not Human Torch. This is very skill dependent because... So if Iron Fist goes on Human Torch in the air, what Human Torch can do is you can have Sue team up and be tanky, take less damage. And also, if he's in peril, like if he's under 50% hit point, he can just flame meteor to the ground to his supports and get away. The worst part is he's got a shotgun. So the closer the enemy is to him, he does more damage. Therefore, Iron Fist goes at him. Guess what? This Human Torch has godlike aim. He shoots him in the head. He does like 175 damage or 200 damage. It's crazy. So yeah, this character counters Iron Fist. I hate facing him in the air. I honestly want someone else to handle him because I hate going in the air and fighting him. Next up is going to be Psylocke. Okay, so if the Psylocke player isn't dumb, basically this matchup is very hard because Psylocke can infinitely kite you. If you go on her, she just, presses shift and dashes away. She basically just uses her range to kill you and you can't do nothing about it. The only way you win this matchup is if she sucks. That's kind of it. And also, Psylocke has a better ult than you. Honestly, it just feels like a better character than you. She's just less tanky. And by the way, she has a shotgun as well, just like Human Torch. It seems like that anyone with a shotgun just counters you. Technically, Punisher does win against you, but he has to be by his healers, so you win 1v1 against him. The way to counter Psylocke is honestly just going on the enemy supports and making her focus you while you're hitting the supports. That's the only way I can see it's like good, but otherwise you lose 1v1 against her. There's more matchups, but I'm not going to reveal my secrets. Instead, I'm going to give you things that people think that counter Iron Fist but don't and are really good for him. So for some reason, everyone thinks that the thing counters Iron Fist. It doesn't. The reason people think it counters him is because you can earthbound Iron Fist, but does he care? No. He can just fly away and fist the air. Like, I know it looks stupid, but he can do that. Another reason why the thing doesn't counter Iron Fist is because he's a tank. Iron Fist will just farm him for ult charge and also beat his ass. Therefore, the thing sucks into Iron Fist. The other thing that doesn't counter Iron Fist and actually makes him immortal is low damage comps. So if you have Wolverine, you have Black Panther, Duelist, and like Doctor Strange and Magneto, I guess, Iron Fist is not dying. He is going to have 0 deaths this game. So you need damage to actually kill Iron Fist, otherwise he will do whatever he wants. I forgot to mention this one, but Hela is really strong against Iron Fist. She can't flank against him because she will get murked, but if she's playing with her supports, then she easily can kill him and destroy him. It's just too much sudden burst out of nowhere that Iron Fist gets surprised on and he might die. And the last step, let's just speak about Namor. So Namor, like in 1v1 matchup, it's skill dependent, but let's just say in general, Namor's squids are very predictable. So essentially what happens is Namor will always give Iron Fist overshield because his squids are always attacking him. But also, squids have auto aim. So if he's trying to run away, there's a chance they might snipe him if he's very low hit point, therefore he dies. Bonus tip, Scarlet Witch. So essentially, this character has auto aim, can easily just suck on Iron Fist, and therefore she don't miss. So really good peeler if she's in the backline with her backline. She can also stop holding her auto attack on the Iron Fist when he blocks. I mean, you know how easy that is? It's just let go of the button. And then she can just nuke him with the missiles she shoots or Doctor Strange team up. The only problem is no one plays her and she kind of sucks. So that's the benefit of having a Scarlet Witch on your team. But she is insanely annoying to deal with as Iron Fist. Like, I actually do want to swap if I'm against her. But anyways, that's the end of this video. If you guys want more tips, subscribe for more Iron Fist content, and I'll see you guys on the next one.